Today we'll be replacing the screen on an Apple iPhone 4. This repair will take about 30 to 40 minutes. Required tools: a penelope screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a plastic spudger, a plastic opening tool, a pair of tweezers, a metal blade, and a suction cup. You'll be handling fragile parts, so take your time and be gentle. Make sure to use the correct screws during reassembly. Some screws will have the same size but different lengths and can easily be misidentified during reassembly. If your front or back glass is cracked, keep further breakage contained and prevent bodily harm during your repair by taping the glass using packing tape. Lay overlapping strips of clear packing tape over the iPhone's display until the whole face is covered. Wear safety glasses to protect your eyes from any glass shaken free during the repair, and be sure to wear an anti-static wrist strap to prevent static charges in the device. Before disassembling your iPhone, be sure it is powered off. Remove the two 3.6 pentalobe screws next to the dock connector. Push the rear panel toward the top edge of the iPhone. Pull the rear panel away from the back of the iPhone, being careful not to damage the plastic clips attached to the rear panel. Remove the rear panel from the iPhone. Remove the following screws securing the battery connector to the logic board: one 1.7 mm Phillips screw and one 1.5 mm Phillips screw. Use a plastic opening tool to gently detach the battery connector from the socket on the device. Start lifting off the connector from the bottom side by placing the tip of the tool between the loudspeaker enclosure and the metal cover of the connector. Insert the edge of a plastic opening tool between the battery and the outer case near the bottom of the iPhone. Run the plastic opening tool along the right edge of the battery and pry up at several points to completely separate it from the adhesive, securing it to the outer case. Use the SIM card eject tool or a paper clip to eject the SIM card and its holder. Remove the SIM card and its holder. Remove the following screws securing the dock connector cable cover to the logic board. Remove the metal dock connector cable cover. Remove the dock cable up from its socket on the logic board. Use the edge of a plastic opening tool to pry the cellular antenna cable up from its socket on the logic board. Remove the 3.4 mm Phillips screw near the speaker. Remove the following 5 screws securing the Wi-Fi antenna to the logic board: one 2.3 mm Phillips screw, two 1.6 mm Phillips screws, one 1.4 mm Phillips screw, and one 4.8 mm Phillips screw. remove the EMI shield on the logic board. Be careful not to break any components off the surrounding area on the logic board as you pry upwards. Remove the rear camera from the iPhone. Use the edge of a plastic opening tool to gently pry the following connectors up and out of their sockets on the logic board. The digitizer cable, pry from the bottom. The LCD cable, pry from the bottom. The headphone jack volume button cable, pry from the top. The top microphone and sleep button cable, pry from the top, as well as the front camera cable, pry from the top. Use a small flathead screwdriver to remove the 4.8mm standoff near the headphone jack. Remove the 2.4mm Phillips screw that was hidden underneath the sticker. Carefully lift the logic board from the end closest to the speaker enclosure and slide it away from the top edge of the iPhone. Now remove the logic board. Remove the single 2.4mm Phillips screw securing the speaker enclosure to the side of the inner frame. Now remove the speaker enclosure assembly from the iPhone. Remove the following two screws securing the vibrator to the inner frame, one 6mm Phillips screw and one 1.4mm Phillips screw. Loosen the three large-headed Phillips screws along the volume button side of the iPhone about 1/2 turn. It is not necessary to completely remove these screws. When reinstalling the display assembly, be sure the washers are closest to the screw head. Remove the four 1.5mm Phillips screws, securing the display assembly to the frame of the iPhone. Use the edge of a plastic opening tool to gently pry up the display assembly around its perimeter. Remove the display assembly from the iPhone. Make sure to remove the protective cover from your new display assembly. Insert the LCD and digitizer cables from the display assembly panel through the metal frame. Be careful not to bend or break these cables. Run your fingers along the sides, being sure the assembly slips evenly into the frame. Make sure the new screen sits flush inside the frame. Tighten the 3 large-headed Phillips screws along the volume button side of the iPhone, about 1/2 turn. Screws should be tightened until snug. Do not over-tighten the screws. Insert the 4 Phillips screws, securing the display assembly to the frame of the iPhone. Be sure to take your time and make sure screws are lined up correctly before tightening. This will help prevent strapping a screw. Insert the speaker enclosure assembly to the iPhone. Be sure the Wi-Fi grounding fingers are installed below the lip in the iPhone's metal case. Insert a Phillips screw, securing the speaker enclosure to the side of the inner frame. Fold into place the digitizer and LCD cables to make room for the logic board. Insert the Phillips screw near the speaker enclosure. Insert the Phillips screw that was hidden underneath the sticker. Reconnect the 3G antenna. Attach the docking cable to the logic board. Insert the metal bracket to secure the docking cable. Insert the 2 Phillips screws to secure the metal bracket. Using a small flathead screwdriver, insert the standoff screw near the headphone jack. Now attach the rear-facing camera to the logic board. Now insert the following connectors to the logic board: the digitizer cable, the LCD cable, the headphone jack and volume button cable, the top microphone and sleeve button cable, as well as the front camera cable. Make sure the flex cables are properly aligned before snapping back into place, and gently push on connections until they connect. Insert the EMI shield on the logic board. Insert the 5 Phillips screws, securing the bracket into place. Insert the vibrator as well as the 2 Phillips screws. Now insert the battery to the iPhone. Place the grounding bracket into the device while also inserting 1 Phillips screw to secure the bracket into place. Attach the rear panel towards the bottom of the iPhone. Be cautious not to damage the plastic clips attached to the rear panel. Insert the 2 pentalobe screws next to the dock connector.